What's up, everybody? Ken here from Superpower Interviews. So there is a portion of Mr. Steve's interview that is missing from the live video right now. I have to cut a certain portion out upon his request, so I decided to re-upload the last 10 minutes or so that's missing from the live video, and here it is. So hope you guys enjoy.
Uh, Steve, what is your ultimate goal as far as
Ultimate goal?
what
Well,
is your
I guess,
I mean as far as like spreading Tien Shan Ne Kung, what is your ultimate goal? Like do you want to get a certain amount of students and stuff like that that come to you and learn from you?
that's a different kind of goal. I would say my ultimate goal is to be a celestial immortal.
Right.
But yeah, another big important goal is to share with at least one person who can learn the whole thing and become a master. It's like a lot of people, they want to learn a little bit, when there's people who go to seminars, they learn a little here, a little there, and then they spread it around. So yeah, I want to find at least one person to give it to, and there's not that, like maybe 1 in 1,000 has what it takes. So it requires having a fair amount of students so that one of them starts shining or glowing in the dark. So yeah, that is an important thing. But a lot of knowledge is being lost these days. When the Red Brigade went around killing all the masters, and some of these masters who are supposed, it's an unwritten law to teach at least one person, they couldn't find their person. So a lot of knowledge is being lost these days. So maybe Tien Shan will be lost too. I don't know. I hope not. But I am aware of the possibility. So the ultimate goal, I would say, is for me. The ultimate goal for me is to, go the moral route.
Do you
which might be easy if I have a dragon.
Have you ever thought about hosting a class via Zoom or anything like that? That would be
really. It's like it's not really useful for anything. It's kind of like a seminar. Mr. Young said seminars were a waste of money. Because like I said, going to class once a week and then going home and practicing, you learn a hell of a lot more than if you go to a weekend seminar and then you forget it 3 months later.
Right.
And it costs less too. Paying for class once a week, you can go for 2 years for the price of going to a high-priced seminar. Right. So Mr. Young said seminars are bullshit. And so he used to say bullshit without the L sound.
Gotcha. I'm Steve, but what about
kind of like that?
Here's a thought for you. What about hosting a class every day on Zoom for an hour or something? Because I certainly would love to learn from you.
Well, I have the videos, and the videos are designed to do just that.
Oh, gotcha.
You need to be there in person.
Gotcha.
I already was there in person making the video, and if a person is dedicated and they do it properly, and then they learn it, they learn level 1 really well, and then they learn level 2 really well, and then they practice with their eyes closed, so they're exploring. I have some students who are doing that. They're really making amazing progress. So you can make better progress by using the videos than me. Like I have a lot of things I want to do, and I don't really want to go and do online classes. People are asking about online classes, and so far videos are as far as I've gotten. If I have a student who is dedicated and working, and then I'm happy to Skype with them to have conversations on Skype or emails. It's getting to the point where I'm getting enough emails and messages on YouTube that I'm getting a little behind. I can see my video froze again. But yeah, I would say if somebody really wants to learn Tian Shan, they should learn all the levels that are on the videos before coming to see me. And then we can get into more advanced stuff.
Nice. That's awesome. Yeah, that's really cool. Okay. I certainly would like to memorize it, by heart. I still haven't bought any of your courses yet, but I need to buy them, and certainly need to go through them. That way I can, come see you and be ready to train at the advanced levels for sure one day. So
Yeah.
yeah. All right. So looks like we just passed the 2 hour mark. This was an amazing interview and conversation. Yeah, so this was so cool. Thank you so much, Steve. I'm just truly grateful and honored that someone of your caliber has took your valuable time out to do an interview with someone like myself. And thank you, Chris Fazio, for arranging this. Yeah, I'm just really truly grateful. Any final thoughts, Steve?
Let me look at your questions here for a second. I can see my video froze. Are there any other teachers? You asked about who's training real Nei Kung and who's teaching Tian Shan. Well, my Qigong brother, Larry Stewart, was my practice buddy, and he lives in Seattle, and he was really into it. I mean, he developed a lot of willpower. But it was distance power. It's not like touching a light bulb. It's like from a distance, pushing and pulling, healing energy. But he said he wanted to teach, but he said he wanted to train more first. And I have a feeling he never got into teaching, which might be able to talk him into it. I can write to him. And so, are there any other teachers teaching Tian Shan, Nei Kung? There was a woman who was teaching a couple people in her garage. That was 10 years ago. And she actually had kind of bad hips, and her health wasn't that good. I don't know if she's still teaching. I could see if I can contact her. And Andy Dale, my Tai Chi teacher, he was teaching a little bit of Tian Shan. But the thing is, I went to one of his little classes for Tian Shan, and it wasn't like Mr. Young was doing it with me. So I told him after class, I said, I wouldn't teach it like this. And he got pissed off, and he said, well, Mr. Young taught me to teach it like this. So I realized that Andy is a master of many systems, and he was teaching people who really weren't dedicated to Tian Shan. He's actually teaching like Tian Shan Qigong, which is 5 of the exercises are kind of boiled down to do it one way. So Mr. Young taught him to teach it that way. So he taught different people different ways, but Andy knows it, but I don't know how much he knows about all the variations. And Andy's semi-retired. He lives up in northern Washington. So yeah, other than that, I don't know who might be teaching Tian Shan. I saw on the internet like 20 years ago, there is a Tian Shan Grand Master in China. And I had his name. And I was thinking it'd be nice to meet him because he's the boss, right? But I'm guessing that Mr. Young was probably more advanced than he was. And Mr. Young would have taught me in a way that he knew was best. And him being more or less omniscient, he knew. So there is Tian Shan in China, but I don't know if it's the same thing. I don't know. They might just teach it like Qigong, like a limited set, and except for inner-door students. And in China, the only people who are going to be inner-door students are going to be like family members or Chinese who they know, and not tourists. So yeah, I think probably and there might be some other masters who taught a few other people like me around somewhere in the West, but I don't know who they might be. Anyway, it's probably does our 2 hours, huh?
Yeah, certainly. Yeah. But thank you for answering that question though, and I'm glad that you went over the original questions that I was going to ask you and stuff like that. I don't necessarily think I got to I asked all those questions that I originally listed, but I believe that I got to ask the majority.
Oh, yes. You asked about Kriya Yoga.
Oh, yes, yeah, I did ask
well,
about
we can do a second interview later.
Certainly. If you are up for it, I'm
Well, like I was gonna talk about Kriya Yoga, but I don't know if you want to. If we're going over time, then we can.
How about you talk about Kriya Yoga right now, real quick, and we'll wrap this up.
Okay. Well, Babaji Nagaraj. Oh, you asked about if there's any immortals. The only immortal I know of, besides Mr. Young, is Babaji Nagaraj. Where that picture of me on the screen isn't the greatest, is it? Let's see. Babaji Nagaraj, King of the Serpents. He's about 1,800 years old, and there's a very powerful Qigong master living here in Vilcabamba who doesn't teach. He's like hidden, retired. But he told me that the yoga that Babaji did to become an immortal is very similar to Tian Shan Qigong. And Babaji said that people should do Kriya Yoga, but that was for the public. You see, the yoga that Babaji did to become an immortal is not Kriya Yoga. Kriya Yoga is something for the masses. He wants the masses to do, the public. So yeah, Kriya is probably fine. I don't know who's a legitimate teacher of Kriya Yoga. Probably the lineage that comes from the book Autobiography of a Yogi, which tells a lot about Babaji. I would say they're probably legitimate Kriya teachers. But yeah, so Kriya is for the public and not for wizards.
Excellent. Yeah, that's awesome. So yeah, Kriya Yoga and Tian Shan are the ways to go. It sounds like. Yeah.
Well, no, not Kriya Yoga. Because Babaji didn't, Kriya Yoga isn't the yoga that Babaji did.
That's right. But I mean, it's still.
So I'd say, some good Zanzang with a spiritual element and Tian Shan's. I'm sure there's other good Qigongs out there. I just don't know about them.
Gotcha. Excellent. Okay. All right. Well, so once again, thank you so much, Steve, for coming on. If you're down for interview number 2, I would certainly be open for that, and I'm sure the audience will love that as well. And I'll make sure to ask questions that I can get to ask. And I'll ask some of my other friends, like Alex, and if there's any specific questions that they want.
Maybe some of the questions that people asked you, and but I think I covered most of these questions.
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah, well, it's been a pleasure talking about myself. Yeah, it's been fun, and I like sharing what I think is the truth.
That's awesome. Yeah,
because there's so much misinformation,
Right, certainly, yeah. So thank you.
Qigong has kind of turned into a big circus like yoga has.
Yeah, certainly. So, yeah, certainly. All right. So, like I said, if you guys want to know more about Steve's work, I will put the Lineage of Dragons website in the description. And also, if you want to purchase his books with the same title, this book right here, called A Lineage of Dragons, I will put the Amazon link in the description as well for those that are interested. So, all right. So thank you guys for watching today, and thank you once again, Steve, for coming on. And
thank you,
we'll
Kim.
definitely arrange a part 2 for this. So,
okay. Yeah. Thank you for the opportunity.
Yeah. Certainly.
So, okay. Talk to you later.
All right. Yeah. See you, Steve. Until next time. Bye-bye. See you guys.